Hi, welcome to Slave Domain Radio. This is where we wake up to the fact that we are slaves, and that as long as we are language-speaking individuals, we will continue to be slaves. This series of mine has been kind of a resemblance of rationality. It doesn't maintain and it doesn't center on specific points in another person's politic. Instead, it is to make a difference between what is said and what it is that can look like what it is that is said. And because this difference is different from rationality, and it's different from where it is my resemblance of sense is guiding the individual listening. But why is this important? Why would I focus any time and energy on doing such a thing, such as this, which on the surface and appears completely nonsensical and quite a bit of a waste of time? Well, the investigation into the collapse of the state, meaning into Stefan Molyneux' philosophy, as he's placing it, is not dissimilar to looking at Fight Club. There is a break of identity. Tyler Durden is dead at the end. He's the bad guy, and the state collapses, or the banking system collapses. Star Wars. At the end of Star Wars, the empire that controls everything finally collapses. It explodes. V is for Vendetta, which is a great film on anarchy, leads the individual to the very idea of what it means to get rid of this structure of coercion, this structure of power. But in all these cases, the state is nice, and it's considerate, and it's polite, and it's moral until it reaches a certain point and crests into a corruption, right? And so the real problem, and I'm going to post a link to StefBot, this particular video, is that StefBot, like these movies, does not speak about the rebuilding. Meaning, he's got an idea, which he calls DRROs, dispute resolution organizations. And so at least he has an attempt, right, at fulfilling the gap of creating a new structure of living, so that when the state, as a wave, as a verbus, crashes upon the shore or slides up into the shore, that quickly we can have a new structure before the toe moves back out to sea, right? And so he has created DROs. Now, the problem, once again, is not with the idea of the collapse of the state. It seems as if it's encouraged as soon as individuals of corruption invade the moral structure that is placed. And StefBot's idea, by his own admission, he does not deal with these problems. He avoids dealing with these problems and instead wants to focus on a tautology of, and don't take my word for it, watch the video. He focuses on the tautology of anarchy existing already as the state, within the state. And avoids getting into the problems with his DROs, although he states the problems. Now, the problem is exchanging one authority, one structure of authority, for another structure of authority. Upon the advent of one authority and the agreement, the social agreement, which seems to contain the mores of the people that are agreeing with it, the structure on the surface appears to be reasonable and respectable, not unlike the Constitution laid out for the United States. It is when the empiricism, the contracts for the military, the Federal Reserve, the aspects that are lobbying, and they're removing the virtue of the authored work off base and into the hands of those who can find the loopholes, the variances, the difference between what is said and what is authored, and some resemblance of that, what is said and what is authored. Okay, now this is the problem, and this is my motivation for doing these videos at all, is that the re-implementation of a structured system in a now homogenized, monizing world is going to be unprecedented. And this is the NWO, the New World Order. And so we're not certain what the power structure is to look like. And if you want to fulfill this new world order with the ideal of freedom as being tautological within the state, my point in my last video was to show that our very identity is relative to following a rule of somebody else's authorship. And so, like all of these movies that are out there, showing the end of the coercive power government or the power structure, none of them seem to invent a sustainable other power government that maintains and retains its morality. And this is the same problem with the DRO ideal. The DRO ideal is simply capping the wave. It's chopping the head off of the pyramid and placing plutocratic or capitalistic organizations that are to deal with one another and deal with you. And all of this is put together morally, with a moral intent. And by moral intent, meaning that Stefbot is doing his best in order to create a new authority, a new system of government that would be impenetrable to corruption in and of itself. And my contention is that no thing can be stated that cannot be punned, cannot have an irony to it, or cannot be restated, or that one could say something that resembles what was said, but is not what was said. And that the problems really are not with the idea of the collapse of the state. That will either happen when it happens, or we can restructure, repatch it, and carry on longer as the civilization meets its loads, its failings, and its problems. So either there's some patchwork, or there's collapse, and then the next structure is built. So basically, Stefbot does this by trying to state there is a universally preferable behavior. This is the new authorship, right? Instead of inalienable rights of humans, it's universally preferable behavior. So it starts out with an integrity, but religions have each their very own universally preferable behavior, and that's why I compare what he's doing to a religion. Okay, and so the problems really is found within the authority of the universally preferable behavior as being de facto the case and absolute, and then the DROs as defenses for this, priests that uphold the right to empower upon you, the individual subject to this new universally preferable behavior. They have the right to overlord this new morality to you as we create a new structure of government. And so, in other words, Stefbot is he's simply cycling through the process of humanity. It's no different, but as we follow him and we have hype for him, let him have some popularity. I mean, he'll have what he has.